Hi, Mia here. I'm going to share something with you today. There are some people who think that I share too much, but I think that I don't share enough. I think by sharing these things, we can all have a better life, and God knows I've needed it. For many years, I've suffered from a lot of stress, a lot of trauma, a lot of really bad things. And yes, I just got out of the shower, and I figured now is as good a time as any while it's still fresh. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I'm a juice faster. You know that I started out very, very sick after a lifetime of trauma and stress and bad choices and bad food and drugs and alcohol. I hit the bottom and I was disabled, and I was having seizures, and I was just in poor, poor health, using a walker or canes. But then I started juice fasting, and at this point I've done 4 30-day juice fasts, 1 10-day juice fast, and a couple juice fasts of approximately 100 days. And let me tell you, my friends, it is only the beginning. Juice fasting is not just about weight loss. In fact, if you lose most of the weight, you can still continue to do periodic juice fasts and not lose a whole lot more, as long as you drink a lot of juice. Juicing is an amazing healing tool to correct and restore your body to its magnificent and glorious natural state that it should be in. After I started juice fasting, even the first time, things started exiting my body. Things that I couldn't believe. It was like a horror movie. My first juice fast, I started getting tonsil stones out of my throat. It seemed like hundreds of them over a couple of weeks. Just a whole bunch of them, almost a mouthful of them, would come out of my throat. And I thought to myself, what in the hell are these things? What is this? And I guess I was that sick. And then I got like a giant one. A giant one. It just came up out of my throat one day. These are gross details, but this is details that tell you just how sick somebody can be. And if that was coming out of my throat, what was in my lungs, in my heart, in my arteries, in my bladder, in my bowels, in my colon? What was in the rest of my body? I don't even want to know. As I continued doing fasts, more stuff came out of my ears and my mouth and my nose and my eyes. Goopy, gross stuff. You know, things that, told me I was very toxic. I had smoked for most of my life. And on one of my 100-day fasts, I was in the shower and I coughed up 2 really big masses. I don't know what they were. I don't need to know what they were. I know they didn't belong in there. And they were, blackish brown masses of things. It was 2 equal size ones like that came up one day in the shower, and I spit them out. So, numerous little stones and strange linings inside of my stomach and my intestines that have been expelled. Anyways, you get the picture. There was a lot of stuff in my body that was very toxic and very, very bad. I feel like somebody that's crusted with layers and layers and layers of hate and pain and grief and just badness, horrible energy. But I feel like it's all on the inside. It's all crusted up on the inside. I shed almost 100 pounds in fat and weight, and got smaller on the outside and more radiant, and my skin repaired itself, but also whatever was crusted up on the inside, even spiritually, has been crumbling and liquefying and draining away. The reason I told you all this is it's a very personal experience, but it's experiences that you can be having and healing yourself with. Using fresh fruits and vegetables. Why do we have to tell people this? This is the most natural thing in the world, to have fresh fruits and vegetables. Things that are alive, not dead things like meat. Not things that were meant for other things like milk for baby calves. This is fruits and vegetables from the earth. This is like the most normal thing to do, yet people that are vegan are called extreme. People that are juice fasters are called extreme. But we're just ingesting pounds and pounds of fresh fruits and vegetables, which is the most natural thing in the world. The extreme thing is going to the store and buying processed food that's basically cardboard with nutrients injected into it. I mean, seriously, a lot of the stuff in the store that's pre-made and pre-packaged isn't even food in my eyes. And so this juice fasting journey has taken me far. So far that today is day 30 of my juice fast. I am done. I'm going to break my fast. I haven't yet, but I just went in and I did an enema. You know I do enemas if you watch my videos. If you don't watch my videos, if you're thinking of juice fasting and you're watching this as an inspirational type of thing, it's good to do enemas while you do juice fasts. And if that sounds scary, don't worry. I was afraid too. I was terrified of trying an enema. I don't like that kind of stuff. So I don't think anybody does, but once you start doing it, you realize how much it can clear the toxins out of your system and your bowels and your intestinal system. So I did that this morning, and I did the big, huge red rubber bag, and I did that twice. And I didn't feel much different at first. I got in the shower, and I started washing myself. And I started reflecting on all of the experiences of my life. And I started thinking about how sick it made me and how horrible I felt for so long and how toxic I was and how sedentary I was and how that amplified the situation. All of the pain and the hate and the resentment and the oppression and all of the horrible things that I experienced in my life, and all the years in the call center collections environment that I was working, and all of the bad things that made my body a horrible, toxic type of a wasteland. I thought about that, and I could envision my body and my glands and all of the internal organs. I could envision them being clogged, and I could envision, I don't know, the sickness, the stagnation. And I realized at that moment how hard it was for me to be so sick, and how hard it was for me to not know when I was going to have my next seizure, and how hard it was to get up out of bed in the morning all by myself, and to get up and walk, and to try to get somewhere and think, wow, I have an appointment across town. I have to get my walker, and I have to somehow get myself onto the street and onto the bus, and I have to get there, even though after just going a block I'm going to be totally fatigued. I mean, trying so hard to keep going, just to keep going when you're disabled. I remember all of the feelings that I had and all of the hardships of my life. And then I thought about recently, I got the flu. On December 3rd, I got the flu. And after I got the flu, I got bronchitis. And after I got bronchitis, I got a sinus infection. And I've had it ever since. And this whole 30-day fast, I've been sick off and on in some way. and blowing my nose and getting nosebleeds and just trying so hard to fight this. And what I didn't realize all along was that through all this, my body has been trying to rebuild my sinuses. I've had sinus problems for most of my life, and also lung problems. And so this is the time that my body has been taking to heal my sinuses and my lungs and try to clear out my body a little bit more. 1 30-day fast didn't do it. 2 didn't do it. 3 didn't do it. 4 didn't do it. Another 100-day and 100-day. I mean, I've taken so long to detox. And so I realized, because yesterday I blew a very big mass out of my nose that looked fleshy. And it really looked like flesh. And I did try to, break into it, and I couldn't with my fingers. It had blood in it, and I got a really bad bloody nose. And today the same. Right before I did my enema today, I had another mass of flesh come out, and this time I really looked at it. And no, I didn't photograph it, but I really looked at it, and it looked like an embryo or something. It was really strange. So today when I was in the shower and I was reflecting on all that stuff, I just let the water run over my head, and I thought about it, and I just suddenly felt myself surrender and just let it all go. Let all the sickness go, and all the congestion and all the stagnation in my body and my mind and my spirit and my heart. I just let it go. And I just said, heal me. Heal me. And I just let it go. And I just felt incredible. I had a feeling come over me, like I can't really explain it to you, but it was profound. And so this is day 30 of my most recent juice fast. And this is what I experienced today. And I just let the water run over me and wash it all away. Wash all of my sickness away, all the toxicity, all the things, all the bad feelings, everything that's spiritually and mentally and physically affecting me. I just let them all wash away. And now, I'm laying in my bed, and I'm telling the story to you. And I'm happy. I'm not sad, I'm happy. And now, I'm going to recover. Take a nice deep breath and tell yourself that you're going to love yourself. You're going to treat your body good. And you're going to give it the nourishment that it needs. And you're going to let go of your anger and your hate. And all of the terrible things that people have done to you. And all the victim feelings that you have. Let it go. Nobody has power over you. Nobody can hurt you without your permission. And nobody's responsible for your health but you. So start putting good things in your body. Follow this path. Do a couple juice fasts if you can. You owe it to yourself. You deserve it. And free yourself from everything bad that is affecting you. Physically, mentally, spiritually. Let it go. I'm doing it. And you can too. I love you guys. You can do it.